What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I Hate Average Podcast back with another week, another episode. I'm excited. I'm a couple days late. Supposed to put this out a couple days ago, but had some technical difficulties. But we back at it. We have a great episode for you guys this week. Last week was a lot of fun. We had BC Diaz. She told us about her show, Unfiltered Opinions, how it got started, and some of the reactions that she's been getting. Has some exciting things going on with her show. You guys really should check her out. Check out her episode. Check out our conversation. It was a lot of fun. We got into some relationship stuff. So it was a cool conversation. Check out the episode and please continue to support and check out BC Diaz and Unfiltered Opinions. This week, another cool guest. We have a returning guest. Actually, we got Milayo Ngesti. I'm really excited to have Milayo Ngesti back. People have been talking about our episode. People asking, when is she coming back on? How can you get her back on? She's back. She's on this episode. We had a cool. This is a little different than our last episode. We got a little bit more in depth, speaking about numerology and relationships and compatibility, and some things to look forward to this year. So it was a lot of fun. Very, very technical, and like I said, very in depth on compatibility and relationships and things of that nature. So definitely check this out. Please contact Milayo. She's I don't know, I don't want to say that it's nothing spooky about it, but she definitely is someone who has knowledge, and she sees things that others are not, others, I don't want to say they're not able to, but others are not in tune with to see. So definitely check out Milayo, check out our conversation, very in depth, and I'll talk to you guys in a couple minutes. Alright everyone, I'm back with another week, another episode. I'm here with my special guest, returning guest, Milayo Ngesti. How are you?
I am wonderful, Jay.
I appreciate your time. The last episode that you did with me got a lot of rave reviews. So I'm glad you wanted to get back on again. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. I'm happy to hear that your listeners appreciated my sharings. I know they can be a little offbeat. So yeah, that's cool.
I think that's what they liked about it. It was something a little bit different.
Mhm.
So I wanted to try something different. This is the beginning of the year, 2018, the start of the year. So I just wanted to know, like, what's your suggestions for, or do you think that having a positive sex life would generate to having a positive year?
Do I think a positive
Well,
sex life would generate a positive year?
a successful having that being successful would kind of you know stir into
Spill
have
over.
yeah.
I think that having a positive sex life or healthy sex life would definitely increase success for anyone in any year. So yes, to answer your question, um, having a healthy and happy sex life is an imperative. It's just as important as eating a healthy meal, eating healthy meals and having some type of physical fitness or exercise activity. Those things are important, just as important as thinking positively, just as important as having positive associations.
Mm,
Um, you know, good, healthy, positive, any and everything is what we want in 2018.
definitely.
So, yes.
So what do you think, is it all mental, or is it like, is it something that you can medically say is good for your body, or is it just something that mentally it kind of just puts you in a more positive space?
I think it's all of the above, honestly. So sex is mental, it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's physical. So like most things that we do, it affects every aspect of our being.
Mm.
So if you are having a healthy sex life versus an unhealthy sex life in this year, then mentally you are in a more positive space, a more joyous space, a more peaceful space, a more creative space
mm,
versus maybe being stuck
mm,
or unhappy and cranky, right?
uh,
Or feeling disconnected or detached,
mm,
or having your hormones imbalance because you're not having sex,
uh,
or feeling or having being bloated. If you don't have sex for extended periods of time, as a man or a woman, you may notice that your abdomen is bloated around the kidney area,
mm,
like the a muffin top, or some people have a muffin top, or they just have a belly because they have a lot of water retention. They're not having sex. Fluids and energy are blocked up in that area, and they need to release it.
that's great.
Um,
Uh,
what else? Brain fog, loss of memory, short-term memory occurs when people are not having regular sexual activity. And then you can couple all of that with what's going on with like seasonal affective disorder. So like right now, a lot of people are feel, especially now because it seems like it's cold every damn where.
yeah.
People are feeling like although we've moved into this really great energy of 2018 where people are feeling really inspired to do a lot of things, and we'll talk about the energy of 2018 specifically a little further in the call,
Okay.
but people are really inspired and motivated to do things, but they also have this thing that this energy that they may have to shake off because it's so cold this winter and we're not getting enough sunlight. And so you have that energy where you feel like you really want to hibernate, you really want to be inside.
Yeah.
If you're not out meeting people or dating or flirting or doing things that would get you more sexual activity, you may feel even more detached or even more depressed or even more despondent or even more anxious. So
Uh,
you have that kind of stuff happening, you know. So having sex is good. Sex is
yeah.
good. Sex is medicine where I come from. Good sex
It's
is
medicine.
medicine. Right. Good sex is medicine.
What about creativity? Does it affect your creativity? Let's say if you're not having it and you kind of have projects that you need to work on, but you can't figure it out. Is
Oh, absolutely. Sexual energy is creative energy.
okay.
It is the same. So there, if you're not using it, and if you're not using it and you let it build up, then it can create tension, frustration, because the mind is a part of it, right? So
Hmm.
if you're not having sex, you don't have a partner, and you're concerned, and you're worried, and you're complaining, and you're like quietly stewing and brewing over the fact that you're not having sex, right?
Is that
It,
subconscious, or do you think that people really on a conscious level have that feeling of anxiety when?
both, both. Both people are having this inner talk like, I'm not having sex, I wish I was having sex, I'm not having sex, I wish I was having sex. Their friends might tell them about their sex life and they're like, damn, I wish I was having sex. Or they might see sex on a movie and be like, damn, I wish I was having sex. Or they may see a couple just out in the street and they be like, damn, I wish I was having sex. People are having those kind of internal dialogues that are very conscious, and then of course there's that um subconscious and or unconscious um recording that's kind of playing
Mm,
that is like, especially for people who haven't had sex in some time because they are afraid of relationships, they've been hurt,
yeah.
there's some kind of trauma around sex, then what's playing for them in their subconscious mind is a tape that is keeping them away from it,
Wow.
whether they are aware of it or not. And it's putting out an energy of, I'm afraid, stay away from me, I'm blocked. And so those people may not even have a conscious conversation about it because they're so far removed from it, because they're past the conscious conversations that say, I don't want it. It's just now not a part of their lives. So it's just playing like silently, and it now other people can hear it energetically, but they don't. The people who they
They,
walk past on the street, like, I ain't looking at her, or I'm not looking at him. So excuse me, that's happening a lot. But creative energy is sexual energy. And so if you're not using it, if you're storing it up, then it's important to be directing it towards the
Wow.
projects, using it to create things in your life. You don't necessarily have to use it to expend it, or share it or exchange it with another person. You can circulate it through their different practices, breathing practices, visualization, squeezing of the perineum, which is the lumpy muscular mass between um, your genitals and your anus.
Okay.
So you can squeeze and breathe and draw up that sexual energy, because that's like the seat or the storehouse of sexual energy.
Yeah.
And you can squeeze and breathe and imagine that energy rising up your spine, coming around your body, kind of in a circular motion, and just see that cycling and cycling. And that's a way to circulate the energy, so you don't have it um, stored or bound, where you just have it there, kind of
Frustrating you.
frustrate. That's the word. Frustrating and pissing you off. You could do that, or you could, like, a lot of people get literally creative. So they'll go out and maybe start writing poetry. They might write a book. They might start painting, doing crafty things with their hands,
So like
or
I said,
work overtime.
would you suggest, let's say, fasting from it, just so you could get like projects done? Just let's say you have a book project and you want to just totally focus on that. Would you just say, you know what, I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to exert any of that energy anywhere besides doing this project.
I do and I don't. That one is like a really mm, that's like sensitive. It depends. There's some contingencies there.
Yeah, I know
It
people that do. I know people who maybe it might be like a superstitious thing where they don't want to do, they don't want to date, they don't want to do anything when they have
mhm.
specific projects that they want to get done.
Yeah, I think that conserving your energy and focusing is really important. So if you're not in a relationship, right,
Hmm.
and you're dating, then you definitely don't want to go running out. You have something really important to do that requires your focus, all of your attention, all of your energy. Then yeah, you're not gonna want to go out and let me get three more extra dates. You know what I'm saying? During this time period, that's kind of counterproductive. But if you're in a relationship, to be like, yo, we're not having sex for the month of June. I mean, if your lover is super duper understanding and that's the type of, that person is vibrating on that frequency, then I get it. It makes sense. You
Yeah,
know, June, we're not having sex because, I got to do this. I'm studying for the LSAT or whatever,
yeah,
and I don't want to be distracted. I get that as well. I don't want to bust a nut because I need all my chi.
yeah,
I need my life force for this. I get that as well, but I also am very, very clear that if you are partnered with the right person, then the direct use and application of your sexual energy can only be beneficial to manifest greater creativity. You know what I'm saying? To
yeah,
manifest greater success. So if you and your partner for the month of June are doing sex magic or sex alchemy,
yeah.
with each other, then you can bust out the LSAT with top scores if the two of you together are working on creating that.
Yeah,
So, that's why I'm like, it depends. You got to know what you're working with. You got to know what your sex life is really looking like.
of course, definitely. So you counsel people, you have clients, you deal with different
Yes.
aspects. So what's some of the common issues that you see with clients that you just in your mind you're like, oh my God, this again? Like what's some of the most common issues that
Oh, oh. Ah! The most common issue is, and I don't want to seem biased, but it's a fact.
yeah.
And it goes for both men and women, but it is women saying that they are attracting fuck boys.
Wow.
The fuck boy controversy. Women are really complaining and in a space when it
Yeah.
comes to the type of men that they are attracting.
Yeah.
That one is most prevalent. And then on the flip, you have the brothers that are like, I keep attracting these women. They don't know how to cook.
Wow.
They don't know how to do this. They don't know how to do that, but they want my money. Uh huh. That kind of stuff. that's the most, or like women are in relationships and they are, it's just the same. It's kind of a fuckboy thing. You could call him a fuckboy or not, even if you've been in a relationship for 5, 6, 7 years, y'all have children, or it's just a dude you met a month ago and he's trying to like pretty much extort you in exchange for cock.
Yeah.
You've got that kind of fuckboy, and then you got the fuckboy who you stayed with too long, you know what I mean? And
And
y'all
there's
got
no
kids.
progress. Yeah.
No, right, no progress. He got a kid over here with somebody else, and you're in a relationship and you're kind of asking me, what do I do?
Yeah.
Uh, um, and for me, what I am working with a lot with women in particular, but my clients in general, is really self-love. And self-love covers like a slew of things, but it really is about pouring all of that you've been trying to get to this person who doesn't know what to do with it, really doesn't want it because they don't even really know what love really looks like,
Yeah.
or if they feel worthy enough to receive all of this that you're giving. Instead, give it to yourself and give it to your loved ones in your immediate circle, the people who really love you already, that you don't have to twist their arm to do shit for you.
Yeah.
Pardon my French.
That's right.
You got all these people around you that really love you, encourage you, and support you. Pour that love into those relationships. Pour that love into the relationships closest to you, and of course, beginning with a relationship with yourself, and then see who you attract from that point of view.
Uh,
But that's not usually how it's happening. People are usually um, attracting based on their hurts, based on their unmet needs, and that's who that's who is showing up.
yeah.
The fuck boys, people who are just as needy.
Do you think
And
people are more attracted to like energies more than like looks? It's more energies that kind of people are more attracted to. Why?
more.
Like people
Hmm.
not more attracted to, but I'm saying the reason certain people hook up or certain people get connected is more of their energies rather than this one looked good, so it just caught my attention.
It's all, everything is energy, Jay.
Oh,
Excellent question. Everything is energy.
okay.
Everything. Even if it's a look thing,
Hmm.
it's all energy. The attraction is all based on energy. It's all based on what people consider to be a vibe. It's all that chemistry, the vibe, it's all there all the time.
So
All the time. I test it all the time. Like I have a numerology formula and theory based on that, where people don't even they don't even have to look like anything you're interested in, but just based on the first letter of your name, they are going to be attracted to you in this way for this reason. And it's tested and proven. Yes.
uh, good. Would you be able to? I'm married. Would you be able to assume or guess my wife's the letter of her first name?
Oh no, so it doesn't work like that. That's not how it works, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this,
Yeah.
right? So generally, your name starts with J, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody whose name starts with J is a person who can get it done. That's my mantra. If your name starts with J, you get it done. You
Yeah.
get it done. Like you have strong leadership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Strong magnetic leadership that every person recognizes. And when you put your hands on something, it's going to be accomplished. So that, and you have a strong masculine energy. So, and your name starts with J, and the second letter in your name is A, and that's another one. And then you have a Y there. I don't know your whole name, but if people call you J
Yeah.
most times, then the vibration you have is one of somebody who is self-asserting, someone who is very pioneering and is going to be able to do things the way they want to do it. So that's attractive.
Yeah.
That's attractive, period. So you're attractive in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless people are intimidated by that, because that's a strong energy as well.
Okay.
If they're not, then you're attractive to a lot of people,
Okay.
right? Then, so if your wife is a woman who likes, if the attraction between the two of you was sexual, a sexual attraction, and really, really um, physical. She wanted adventure. It was a little eccentric, something that was different. Like there was some variety to it. Then her name either starts with a D, an M, or a V. if she was looking for a spiritual connection with you, it was more of an intellectual thing where it was a mystery and that was attractive, or there was something around it that maybe had to do with like a health or healing, then her name begins with F, or it begins with um what's the other one?
So,
Q, uh, the other six letter. So that the
so,
theory is like that.
so
It's like that.
it depends on like what the relationship was for. As you, but-
Initial attraction. Initial attraction. The vibration or the chemistry.
so
So
it's
like
the
for
S.
me,
So it's more of it was a mental thing because it's the S for her. So it was a mental thing.
nope, nope. If it was an S, then the two of you are similar. There's a similarity because S and J equal 1. So that's a part of the formula. People whose first initials match in
Mm.
terms of the energy of the single numerology digit, they are a perfect match personality wise when it comes to initial attraction. Like right away, boom, they feel familiar, they feel like they know each other. So it would be the A name, a J name, or an S name. Those are the people who would immediately see each other across the room and be like, yo, that's my peeps. I could
Uh,
get with him or I could get with her. Like my name starts with M. So somebody whose name starts with D, M, or V are people who automatically are attracted to
connect.
me,
Uh,
familiar. So wherever I see them,
it,
I can look at a person and know based on how they interact with me right away if their name starts with a D and M or a V. I know it, and they
wow.
don't, but I do right away,
Uh,
right away. If
so
somebody's, go ahead.
that was just in my mind. I had a funny thought. So let's say you're in a supermarket and you kind of get into a disagreement with somebody. In your mind, you probably kind of would assume their name. That you know what their names would start with.
Yes, yeah, because then I could see where the tension is coming from. I could see where the tension is coming from. Or if people can be attracted in different ways for different reasons. So you have people who are attracted and it's a very strong attraction. Like this person right away would like to go home with you and make you the wife or the husband. Like there's those kinds of attractions, right? Then you have somebody who's attracted right away and you know that person wants to fuck.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I mean? Like if they come next to you, they can touch you, they can take your clothes off. It's immediate. Then
Yeah.
you have some people you see the attraction is like, wow, we could go meditate together. It's off the rip. You
Yeah.
could tell based on just the first letter of their name. Now I don't even need their birthday for that.
Wow.
It works. It works every time. I do it with my children, everybody.
That's cool. That's so. Do you see? I know it's not purposeful, but do you see you find yourself having different types of relationship with your children, and then you realize that it might be because of their names?
Oh, of course, because my son, his name starts with D, and so he's in love with me. We've got the DM thing.
Yeah.
So he's like all up under me all the time.
Uh,
Um, my daughter's name starts with S. So that combination is very different.
yeah.
Our relationship is very creative.
Mhm.
It's very creative. It's very expressive. I always promote her creativity and she promotes mine.
Mm.
And that's the combination because 1, which is S,
Yeah.
and 4, which is M equals 5. And 5 is promotion. 5 is passion. My daughter and I are very sexy together in the streets.
Uh.
Period. I'm just saying.
so,
We hot in
so
the
when,
streets.
so when y'all together, it's a problem.
Hot, hot in the streets. Hot. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's like the best turkey cold cuts
Yeah.
and the highest quality bread. You know what I'm saying? That's how we in the streets. You know what I mean? They want it in the streets. Mhm. Mhm.
So I wanted to you said you wanted to talk about the energy of 2018, but before you do that, let's talk about the energy of 2017. Was 2017 what you expected it to be, or were things a little wonky?
Ah, 2017 was special. It was a special year, special across the board when it came to the highs and the lows. According to numerology, 2017 was a 1 year. So a 1 year is really always about like high energy, the creative spark. This is where like from nothing, the big things are beginning and things are initiated. So that is what 2017 was for a lot of people. And in that, through the creative process, coming from a cycle of endings into beginnings, it can be very rough. It
Mm,
can be tumultuous. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
birth. Essentially, that's what it is. It's a birthing year.
Wow.
So it is rough. Everything is new. You're walking into things blindly, not really expecting, knowing that there's a promise of having some great things happen, but not really knowing what it's going to be. And then if you had a lot of ideas, it was the perfect year to just be in that creative flow with a lot of ideas. There's a lot of like unlimited potential in 2017.
Mm.
So I know for the people in my life, they were initiating a lot of stuff. There were a lot of things initiated. If you look at like just like the economy, like how everybody, at least by the close of 2017, was getting into or learning about cryptocurrency. Although it wasn't new, 2017 made it
It just
feel
happened
new.
to be the flow. Yeah, it was in the.
Yes, yes, the spark for that. People were just really in this space where the energy was high. There was these like really dynamic people who transitioned, like they left the planet,
Yeah.
and a lot of babies were born. A lot of babies are always born in a 1 year. So there's a lot happening, a lot of goods
Wow.
and a lot of bads. If good and bad, if you're a good and bad type of person, you weigh things
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, it was rough for many, but I think for the most part, people, if you talk to somebody, they'll be like, "Yo, it was the best and the worst year of my life." It was the
Yeah,
best and the worst.
I would agree. It was very eventful. I'll say that it was an eventful year, very eventful. So 2018 is that what number would that be?
2018 is a
I mean
two.
2000 yeah, 2018 is a two. Okay.
It's a two. It's a two. Um, it's a two, and like because we focus on the last two digits of the year,
Okay.
like the 17, the 18, like 1999, the 99 would be important.
Okay.
Or like if I'm born in 76, so I'm a 76er. We focus on the last two digits.
Okay.
So like the 17 in 2017, that was a year of like some powerful type leadership around entrepreneurship and stuff like that. So
Wow.
2018, that 18-9 energy, people are going to get really into, they're going to be a lot of letting go. People are going to be letting go of a lot of things.
Wow.
And the 18 energy is really about letting go. People are going to be very, very much into their body, like a body consciousness as well. People
Wow.
are going to be looking at um, the way they see themselves is going to be a big deal in 2018. They probably are going to start fitness. People who've had these like fitness goals are going to move closer to achieving them. It'll seem easier for people to get
That's
into
scary.
that
This is
that
scary.
look.
It's kind of scary because I
Don't be scared, baby.
nah, cause that because actually I made a pledge to myself that I was running in the marathon this year. So just just
Ooh,
the hearing is kind of like out the blue. It seems kind of weird that for me I'm not really a fitness person, but something that I wanted to try. It's on my bucket list. I wanted to try, but just hearing you saying that this is kind of the year to do it, it's kind of scary.
yes, yes. Well, it's the year. It's the year for um paying attention to your body, putting more attention into it, exercising outdoors. So like doing a marathon would be perfect. People who want to get into cycling, focusing on diet, health, rest, that kind of stuff, and slowing down because 2018, the 18 equals 9. And so 9 is really a slow, healing, nurturing type of energy. And so that is going to be prevalent in this year. It's a closing energy. 18 puts a close on things. It seals the deal.
Mm.
So A lot of times people may be closing projects out, or putting a cap on things that have been kind of open-ended for some time.
Nice.
And there's a time for healing as well. So that's what the 18 does. But 2018, because I like to specify as a numerologist, focusing on the energy of all the numbers involved is key.
Yeah.
But 2018 in totality is a two.
Okay.
And two is all about harmony, partnership, cooperation, teamwork, support. It is a feminine number. It is the first feminine number because the one from
Masculine.
2017 was masculine, right? So two softens things up.
Mm.
It's very peaceful. It's about, being neat. It's about cleanliness. um it definitely is about relationships. Like two is the partnership number. So this year people are going to get partnered up, people are going to get paired, people are going to make babies as
Wow.
well. Yes, people are going to make babies.
Okay.
um People are gonna, it's gonna be the cuffing year.
Yeah.
Forget cuffing season.
The
Like,
whole year.
people gonna be cut. Yes, yes. People are gonna want to be with other people. People are also gonna want to be with other people just to join as teams, just to partner up for stuff, for projects.
Wow.
Creative ideas. People are gonna want to get together. You want to make money this year? Don't do it by yourself. Last year was the year of independence,
Wow.
individuality. This is the year to get partnered up, get coupled up. But be mindful. Be mindful. Don't be thirsty. Be
Yeah.
mindful. Okay, use your intuition because two is a very intuitive number. So use the intuition that comes to you about people. Don't just leap in because you want to be paired up and the energy is like, yeah, go on and get it. You use your intuition because the feeling with the two is that by yourself you don't feel like you're enough.
Mm.
Or if you recognize that it was harder to complete things or work by yourself before, in the two, it'll be like, it's when you will notice it. You'll be like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
Well, he's been around, or she's been around, or this company has wanted me to contract with them, or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So now will be the time where you're like, oh, it makes sense. It's a good idea. Maybe I should do it.
So
Hmm.
to piggyback on that, like I guess you're a professional when it comes to seasons and numerology. Like when someone has an idea, it has a creative idea, a business idea, any project, anything creative, is there a certain season for them to act on it, or should they act on it when the idea comes into their head? Or let's say it's January 2018, and last week you thought of a business idea. Would you say, all right, this is the right timing to do it, or would you say, I probably will wait till the summertime, something like that?
Ah, see, that one there is personal to every person, which is why everyone should have a chart. Everyone
Okay.
should have a chart where they can refer to it, a chart that is like their birth chart, general, and then you have one that gives you forecasts of what is happening on a month-to-month basis.
Okay.
Because we all have a personal year. Based on numerology, you have a personal year. So, I know what the energy is for me for the whole year, and then I know what's going to happen this month for me,
Mm.
and then I know I can break it down to the day and know what kind of day today is. So I know the energy of today. And so I know that today is a good day to initiate a business, or this month is going to be bad for that. So you got that kind of stuff going on. So when you get your chart generated, you have a clear picture of when's the best time to do things.
Oh,
Also, um, every 52 days, we all, as a part of our personal year, we all go into a new cycle every 52 days. So that's a whole nother way of tracking the best periods to do things. So within those 52-day cycles, you have the best period for jobs, the best period for romance, the best period um, to start things, the best period to end things. So there are different cycles, you're right. And yes, you should track them. Every person should, but it's
uh,
different for each person.
oh,
Now, if you want to do a general thing, you're like, oh, yeah, well, wintertime is the time that you want to focus on what you want to come to fruition the next year. Wintertime is when you go inside
oh,
in the quiet and you hibernate and you do your planning because your energy is low in the wintertime. You want to reserve it for like creative pursuits indoors.
Okay.
And then as the season changes, then you emerge. So when the spring comes to life, so do you. And
Oh,
that's the time when you're out there, you're putting those seeds out, right? The seeds,
uh,
and you got summertime. Fall is harvest. Fall is the celebration. Fall is when everything really comes
I'm
to
seeing.
fruition,
Okay.
and fall is when it's popping. That's the new year, really, really. So it's popping, and it's time to be like, yeah, this is where I reap the rewards of what I've sown throughout all of the other seasons. So
Uh,
you've got it that way, there's different ways to track it.
yeah,
Depends. It depends.
that's cool. It's good that I got to start studying it more because it's good to, I guess, that you have that knowledge that you kind of know what to expect. You kind of could plan your year out, you could plan your months out. You kind of, instead of, just living frivolously and just, going day by day. But if you kind of know what to expect, I think things will go a little bit smoother.
I think you're right. Especially if you get into astrology. Like astrology is so on point. Astrology is so I I find that numerology is so on point. Like the numbers are life, you know what I mean? And
True.
down here on this earth plane, we can refer to numbers and we can get communication and messages via numbers every freaking second of the day because they are such an intrinsic part of our lives. You know what I mean? Like from our DNA code to everything around us can be
Yeah,
counted or tabulated, right? So
yeah,
numbers are really easy, a real easy way to grasp and understand yourself in relation to what's going on here. If you want to get cosmic with it and you want to get real deep into that science, astrology is everything as well. If you have that kind of mind
yeah,
to really get into it and to really follow those cycles, it's dope. It's dope. Like I recommend that people just for their own personal relationship, if you consider yourself to be somebody who's connected or in tune, spiritual or not, because these are sciences. They're not it's not spiritual, but it can be,
yeah,
depending on who is doing it, or how deep you go. If you look at the archetypes as deities, as aspects of God or the divine or whatever,
yeah,
your ancestors, stuff like that, then it can get it can get esoteric. But if you just want to look at it as a hardcore science, then that's what it is. And it's both of them are things to study and apply on a daily basis. These are ancient. They've been here and they always will be here.
true.
Numbers and symbols and the stars, the planets, they've been here.
But
They've been
then
here forever.
well, my thing is, I guess I don't want to. I would, of course, I want to be more strategic this year. I think I want to be more strategic this year. But there are also times where you kind of want to, you don't want to be too strategic where you don't flow. Let's say like today. Today is the 8th. Let's say
Yes.
you're in the supermarket and a guy wants to take you out on a date, but in your mind you woke up this morning knowing this would probably be a bad day to accept the date. Like, what would you do? Would you just say, not at this time, I'm not interested, or would you just go with the flow?
Well, that's where the vibration is important, right? Because you do want to be in a flow and you do want to honor how you feel. And so I could connect with him today, but let's say I know it's Mercury retrograde, right?
Yeah,
Or I know it's Venus retrograde.
yeah,
Like Venus retrograde, I know that this dude is a lover that in a previous incarnation we had an affair. You know what I'm saying? And like, so he came up to give me the tests, and it's gonna be real easy for me and him to get it cracking, cause that's what we used to do.
yeah,
So, in that time and space, then I'm going to make a decision because I know what period it is. If it's Mercury retrograde, I know that this is somebody that I've had communication with of some sort, a contract, very likely a contract with in a previous incarnation. And so now they've returned. The old folk always come back from the past during retrograde periods. The old people you haven't seen that you always want to cross paths because Mercury is about crossroads. So when you know those things, it's helpful. I don't know if you don't have to be obsessed. I'm not obsessed, and I know this stuff, but I'm not obsessed or fixated
So
on it.
you
It'll
still
just
able
pop
to
up.
flow like through your day to day. You're able to just
You
without
better
it.
believe it.
Okay, because I don't,
I'm not
I don't want to.
fanatical like that.
Yeah, I don't want to stay and then I'll always be in my head like, somebody offered me a job and I say, no, it's Tuesday. I can't take it on a Tuesday. I don't want to be
You
like.
so crazy. There are people like that. No, no, no. No, no, no. Nope. If it's Mercury retrograde, then I might be like, oh, Mercury retrograde, it's not recommended for by most people,
Hmm.
most astrologers that you sign contracts or make agreements because your mind will change when Mercury goes direct.
So
So
when does that season up? The Mercury retrograde. When is that
we
season?
actually are in the ending of the shadow period.
Okay.
So it's about to be over. But it's time for planning around contracts, planning around agreements.
Hmm.
So you can say yes, you want to take the job, right?
Yeah.
And you tell them that you can't start until, a certain day. So
Okay.
that gives you a window,
Okay.
and then you just let it play out and you see what kind of communication it is. If the people are rigid and fixed and they need you to start right away, or they're not, really able to give you any leeway, then
Then you
that might
know.
not be a place where you want to work.
Yeah. See, that's a sign right there that it's not for you.
Right.
Yeah.
There you have it. So these periods are not like to put you through like a psychological warfare,
Man.
but to give you an opportunity to slow down. Retrograde is slow it down period. Slow it down. Pay attention to things you usually don't when it comes to that planetary energy.
So,
So it's beneficial to know. I'll tell you that.
so when's after the Mercury retrograde? What's the next season that's gonna be?
Um, well, it doesn't work like that.
Uh,
So Mercury retrograde can be happen while other planets are retrograde. You got Saturn retrograde. You have Uranus could be retrograde. A whole bunch of planets could go retrograde at one time, which
oh,
makes life very complicated.
yeah.
Very complicated. When you have more than one retrograde going on, you hold on. You know what I'm saying? And they all last for different periods of time. Like Mercury retrograde is a short period. Mercury retrograde is 3 weeks plus the shadow in the beginning and the shadow at the end. But you have other planets that would be retrograde for months, 6 months at a time. You know what I mean? And you just need to look alive. You just need to pay attention.
Yeah.
So that's how it happens. Sometimes they overlap. Sometimes it's just one planet can be retrograde at a time.
This is.
Again, just for awareness, not for you to be obsessed. And you could
I
Google it. Anybody listening can Google retrograde. You can Google retrogrades and you'll get a listing of all the planets that are retrograde right now. And then, and their shadow periods and when they go direct. Like all of that, you can Google it. Just read it and see, well, damn, well, this explains why I've been experiencing this. Or I've been feeling a pull in this area of my life. That's really what it's for. It's a reference and a guide.
yeah.
You
So
don't want to get you don't want to get dogmatic with
yeah.
it and just be like, yo, this is retrograde. Yo, watch out. Every time you tell somebody, like, oh God, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like saying you going to hell. We
It's
don't.
true.
That's not
Yeah.
what we're about.
It's true. So it's just about the energy and understanding, but it's not something like you said to be rigid about. It's just for your own understanding.
Yeah, you're free. We're free. You're free to have your experience and to craft it. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? So you don't need to be feeling like you're in a prison. Mm-mm.
Well, I really, really thank you for your time again. I appreciate it. I learned a lot. I wasn't expecting that. I was just wanted to talk about the year, but I learned a lot. I got a lot of homework I got to do.
Yay! And we didn't even get to the. We didn't even really talk about no sex or nothing. We didn't even keep it saucy this time. It's all good though. It's all good.
I appreciate it. I mean, so okay. The year of the two. How would you expect the average sex life to be for the year 2018?
It's gonna be good stuff as long as people don't feel insecure about their looks because of these body images stuff that comes up in 18
Okay.
energy. Try not to be insecure in your head about your looks, and just work on it. Work on your health, your wellness, your diet. Just get into it. Take care of your body, and you should feel really, really good about it. Touch is going to be important to people.
Mm,
Being touched, getting and giving affection is going to be very important and very healing to people during this year. So you know, try to
It,
get your touch
is
on.
that
If you don't
is
have a
that
partner, go
I
ahead.
I I don't know. Is that like a feminine energy? Just because
Yeah,
I just think it's
yes.
like my son. He's very affectionate now because he's a kid, but I know that when he grows older, he won't. He'll be more standoffish. So is it like a feminine energy that people feel? Because I know men are not that affectionate. So is the feeling of being wanting to be more affectionate a feminine energy?
Yeah, two is the first feminine number. So it is very feminine. One of my girlfriends was saying that to me today. She didn't link it to 2018, but she was like, my daughter has been super duper affectionate, like touching me nonstop. So it's
Yeah,
funny to hear you say that too. Yeah, it's feminine. It's feminine and it's soft.
yeah,
It is so soft and sensitive. Sensitive in terms of awareness, sensitive in terms of connection. That's what two is. So 2018 is going to bring that kind of energy.
yeah.
It's going
So
to bring that.
so love is coming back. That's what you're saying. People gonna.
Yes, 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 yes. On the just from the negative perspective or what to be aware of, um, the energy of the 18 can allow a lot of subconscious things to come to the surface.
Mm,
And so in the relationships, all kinds of relationships, things can get touchy and people can get irritable. Like that sensitivity that I just talked about can work for you or against you.
so like insecurities and that could
Yes.
raise up.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And two energy can have a bit of a trickster component to it because two can be very manipulative because of that sensitivity that's heightened or that intuition.
Mm,
Twos in a two time, people can really pick up on each other very easily.
uh,
You could pick up on what the other person is feeling, what the other person is thinking very easily. So if you're a person who's already sensitive to that kind of stuff, in a two, your powers are more intensified.
yeah, and you
So
can
if you
manipulate
could
it
put
a little more.
yes, 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 yes,
It's good to know.
yes.
But it's
Very.
also good when, like you said earlier, when you talk about business deals, it's also good also because you'll be able to kind of see what the other side needs and you'll be able to adjust your presentations.
Yes.
Uh, it's very, very interesting, right? Because it
Mhm.
seems it works with everything. It's not just, sex and relationships. It works with everything.
Life.
Yeah.
Yes.
I,
Mhm. Mhm.
again, thank you so much for your. I don't want to hold you up all night, but thank you so much for your
It's
time.
all good. You're so welcome,
Appreciate it.
Jay. Thank you. Thank you so much for the
All
opportunity.
right.
Perfect. So, if anyone wants to contact me to have a sexual numerology consultation where we get into the specifics of your relationship with your sensual energy or your sexual energy, you can call me or text me at 929-343-0958. Or if you just want to book a numerology consultation to get your yearly forecast, you can reach out to me there as well. You can also contact me via Facebook. Facebook, I am Milayo Ngesti, Milayo Negesti, and you can just hit me up on Facebook if you are one of those inboxers who rather communicate that way. That's cool too. If you would like to have any consultation or discussion or coaching around your relationship or your sexual experiences as a whole, or some type of sexual healing session, because I also do energy work and body work, I'm available to do that as well. So, and you can find me online. My website is milayonagesti.me or iaminlovewithme.com and see what's going on. I'm actually about to host a 40-day challenge, a self-love challenge,
Oh wow.
beginning at the end of the year. So, and my goal is to have 100 participants
Okay.
worldwide. So, if anybody's interested in participating in that, that is going to be a life-changing experience. Really want to help people shed the fuck boys and I guess the fuck girls in their lives if you're trying to
you
level
gotta
up.
be fair. You gotta be fair. You gotta.
I do. You wanna level up, clean the slate so you could really utilize the energy of this 2 year. You kind of want to start at the ground level and work your way up. So that's what this challenge is going to be about.
All right. Sounds interesting. Thank you so
Mm.
much.
You're welcome, love. Thank you.
All right.
There you have it. That's the convo with me and Milayo Ngesti. We got it back on. Cool conversation. Like I said, this is interesting stuff, especially some of the things that she spoke about that people might be thinking about or that people might have this year to be a theme for certain things. And I've really been having conversations with people. They didn't know about this episode. They didn't know about my conversation with her, but they've been talking, oh, I got to get this together. I got to get that together. And it's a lot of things that she told me about that people are really, really thinking about. So it's very interesting. I don't want to say it's spooky. Um, to me, it kind of is only because I guess my religious background, but it's very, very interesting. It's something that I think people should just consider. Being that it's kind of so on point, it's kind of so um, not. I don't want to say legit. I just want to say it's very accurate. So a lot of things are accurate, and it's some things that you might just want to check out. So please contact Milayo. Let her know, of course, you heard her on the podcast, and show her some love, show her some support. Thank you guys again for your continued support of the show. Of course, if you like it, if you don't like it, email me show@averagej.com. Once again, show@averagej.com. And we'll be back next week, of course, following all social media. I Hate Average Podcast on Twitter. I Hate Average JAY on Twitter and Snapchat. Of course, go to the website averagej.com, averagej.com. We're going to be writing a lot more and vlogging a lot more because I got some cool things happening this year. We finally got the date finalized. March 10th, we're going to have our first event. March 10th. Mark your calendars. March 10th, 2018, we're going to have our first official event. So definitely look out for more announcements, for more details, for the location and things of that nature. How to purchase tickets. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. And it's finally here. We've been talking about it. We've been pushing it. We got a date. We're excited. Let's go. March 10th. Yes. First ever I Hate Average podcast event. I want to see you guys there. Show some support. It's going to be a lot of fun. Eat, drink, and be merry. And talk about the show. Talk about things you like, things you don't like, and other things that's on your mind. Whatever's on your mind, we're going to go have some fun, have some libations, and enjoy ourselves. So I'll talk to you guys next week, and thank you again for your continued support. Subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, talk to you next week.